Looking for the best NFL prop bets for NFL Week 3? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome, football fans, to another edition of IDP Plus Bets. That is right, folks. I am your host, the D-Gen Doc. And what we're doing today is we are giving out my 6 favorite NFL prop bets for NFL Week 3. That's right, folks. We got 6 plays that I absolutely love this week. And don't worry, they're all plus money and they're all a little juicy. Just a nice way to spend your NFL Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Whew, geez. All right. The way this is going to work, we're going to go through the 6 plays here. I'm going to give you my reasoning why. I'm going to lay out my case, and hopefully you tail. And hey, if you tail, good luck to you. And if you fade, sorry for you. But we're going to go from the least odds to the highest. And we're going to start over in Tennessee, where we are talking about running back Tony Pollard over 65.5 rush yards and a nice plus 115 there. Look, the Tennessee Titans are taking on the Green Bay Packers, and really it's a couple things. The Tennessee Titans all look like a much better team when they establish the run game, when they run the ball, and they've had some success running the ball. Pollard's had over 60 yards these past 2 weeks, and really for one of the biggest reasons I'm playing this is Tajay Spears. Pollard and Spears have been split in time. You know, it's not quite been 50-50, but Spears is getting a decent amount of touches. It's not been a purely Tony Pollard workload. Tajay Pierce picked up an ankle injury last week, and we saw when he went out, Pollard was able to take over those carries, and he did limited practice today, no practice on Wednesday, limited practice on Thursday when I'm recording this on Thursday. And so, yeah, maybe he plays, but he's not going to be 100%. So I love Tony Pollard here. Green Bay Packers giving up over 5 yards a rush there. I think in order for Tennessee to really have a shot at this game and any of their games, you can't have Will Levis throw the ball a bunch. We've seen him have 2 absolutely terrible turnovers. So I think that they rely on this revamped and rejuvenized offensive line, and they hand the ball off to Tony Pollard. It is one of their keys to success. So give me Tony Pollard over 65.5 rush yards at plus 115. Next up, this one's going to hit close to home. But hey, if your team sucks, you might as well make money off them. I'm going to Cleveland, where we've got running back Deonta Foreman. Anytime touchdown at a nice plus 135. Couple things. One, Pierre Strong, hamstring injuries, going to be out multiple weeks. So now it's just Ford and Foreman in that backfield to split carries. Left tackle Jedrick Willis, right tackle Jack Conklin are on track to both be returning and to play this week. So the offensive line is getting healthier. And oh yeah, they're going up against the New York Football Giants, who, as I painfully know, are a terrible team. They have an awful rush defense. They're giving up about 115 yards a game, over 5 yards carry. And similar to the Pollard take, let's be honest, Deshaun Watson, the way to win football games in this 2024 NFL is not to let Deshaun Watson throw the ball, much like Will Levis. Bad things are going to happen. So you have a great offensive line, you have a great defense, you run the ball, and you play good defense. And I think that's what the Cleveland Browns have done, and I think they're going to continue to do it. Whether it's been Kareem Hunt last year, I think Deonta Foreman takes over that red zone role as kind of that bell call. Again, Kareem Hunt did it last year, taken away from Jerome Ford. I think Deonta Foreman, especially when Pierre Strong, is a great play there at plus 135. I will even be sprinkling the 2 touchdowns at a plus 950. Again, Giants, bad team. Daniel Jones probably going to have a couple turnovers, a couple short fields. They're going to be able to just run the ball. And as painful it is, again, if your team sucks, at least make money off of it. All right, going to probably the most unassuming player of any of the guys I'm going to talk about, and that's Mr. Alec Pierce. And I'm taking Alec Pierce over 40.5 receiving yards at plus 190. Look, I know what you're thinking. Alec Pierce, that's the guy you're going to go for. 40 yards, you know, I get it's not enough, but it's Alec Pierce. You're talking about the Indianapolis Colts leading wide receiver with over 180 yards. He has hit this number both weeks, and we're getting a plus 190 number. The market has not adjusted yet. Look, I understand Michael Pittman Jr. is probably much better wide receiver than Alec Pierce. You can even probably say the same thing about Adonai Mitchell and Josh Downs, who is on track to play this week. But clearly, Anthony Richardson and Alec Pierce have a connection. Pierce has scored a touchdown in each of the 2 games. Again, he is the leading wide receiver on this team by a wide margin. Richardson clearly trusts him, and he doesn't take a lot of catches to get this. I mean, he had 3 catches last week for 125 yards. So, on that rate, 1 or 2 catches and he's already there. So I love this play. Alec Pierce, look, there's clear chemistry there, so I'm not fading it. Give me Alec Pierce over 40.5 receiving yards at plus 190. All right, folks, we've given out 3. That means we're halfway there. But before we continue on here, of course, let me tell you about some of the great things we got going over here at IDP Plus. All right, folks, look, if you like what you see, if you like what we hear, start your season off right with an IDP Plus subscription. And just for you, you can get a 20% off any subscription for a limited time with promo code PROPS and get access to our tools, data, IDP articles, and don't miss out on our subscriber Discord. Giving out a lot of good things there. And of course, hey, look, we love you at IDP Plus. We love giving you promos. We love giving you money. We love making you money so much that, hey, we've got not only a deal at FanDuel, but we've got a deal at DraftKings too. Get $50 in bonus bets when you deposit $50 at DraftKings. Just go to idpplus.com/DraftKings. And then if you want to be on FanDuel, get $50 in bonus bets when you only deposit $10 with idpplus.com/FanDuel. All of those links, descriptions will be down in the description. And we're back to football, baby. All right. I am betting now on this back half of this show on a couple of alpha wide receivers to remind us in the entire league how good they are. First up, we're going to a Monday night game. Jamar Chase, Bengals taking on Washington, Jamar Chase over 105.5 receiving yards at plus 190. Look, T. Higgins has returned to practice. I would not play T. Higgins this week. There's high re-injury rates with hamstring, but he could be a good distraction. And we're going against the Washington defense. Everybody looks good against the Washington defense. We saw Malik Neighbors go for 130 yards against them. And look, I love Malik Neighbors, but I think Jamar Chase is a better wide receiver right now. So imagine what Chase is going to do to this defense. I mean, Chris Godwin lit him up. Tampa Bay Buccaneers all had a field day. I think the Bengals are going to throw early and often on this terrible Washington defense. And Jamar Chase is going to remind us all why he's Jamar Chase. Everyone knows he has those spike games in him. I'm calling for him to have them this week. Over 100.5 receiving yards at plus 190. Another guy, very similar take here. And this is one of those where he might be the only guy left. And that's Brandon Aiyuk. 100-plus receiving yards at plus 225. Look, the San Francisco 49ers are beat the hell up. No Christian McCaffrey. No Deebo Samuel. It looks like potentially George Kittle missed practice today with a hamstring strain. Looked like he picked up a hamstring injury last week. Late in the week, that is not what you want to have happen. So potentially, three of their top targets are going to be out. And they're going up. The good thing is, they're going up against a Rams team who's probably the only team that's more beat up with them. Look, Rams offensive line's decimated. No Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua. But they're also missing guys. Look, there's no more Jalen Ramsey. There's no more Aaron Donald. There's 2 of their starting quarterbacks got put on the IR to begin the season. Their starting safety just got put on the IR. And they're getting decimated by top wide receivers. I mean, they're giving up tons of yards. Marvin Harrison did this in a quarter. He did this in 1 quarter, really like half a quarter. Just last week. Brandon Aiyuk is a special player. Brock Purdy's going to need him to be a special player. He's had a couple weeks to ramp up after, holding out for his contract. Give me Brandon Aiyuk, 100-plus receiving yards at plus 225. And then this guy is a guy who I think people are forgetting about. This is Rams wide receiver, Tutu Atwell. So I'm sticking in that Rams 49ers game because, look, both sides are beat up. But as I talked about with the Rams, no Puka Nacua, no Tyler Higbee, and no Cooper Kupp. So I'm going to lean on guys that Matthew Stafford already has chemistry with. I know everyone wants to talk about the rookie in Whittington and this Tyler Johnson, Colby Parkinson. And look, I like DeMarcus Robinson too. But I think people are forgetting about Tutu Atwell. This is a guy that the Rams went out and drafted pretty high a couple years ago. It's a guy who they've kept around the organization. And look, when Cooper Kupp went out last week, in 1 half, Tutu Atwell put up 48 receiving yards. So we only need 2 more yards for a plus 425 cash. I think the market is way off here. I think Tutu Atwell is not only going to be out there, I think he's got big playability. He could do this in 1 catch, and Matthew Stafford trusts him. I mean, Matthew Stafford's losing guys he can trust left and right. So it's nice when he can turn to a familiar face. And give me the dart throw on Tutu Atwell, 50-plus receiving yards at plus 425. All right, folks. Look, we've made it through, and I've got a nice little graphic to help us do a recap. So for my best bets for NFL Week 3, we've got Tennessee Titans running back Tony Pollard over 65.5 rush yards at plus 115. We've got Browns running back Deonta Foreman, anytime touchdown, plus 135. We've got Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce over 40.5 receiving yards at plus 190. We've got Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase over 105.5 receiving yards at plus 190. We've got San Francisco wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk, 100+ receiving yards at plus 225. And Rams wide receiver Tutu Atwell, 50+ receiving yards at plus 425. All right, folks, that's it. NFL Week 3, it's going to be a very special week. Hey, if you enjoyed this, definitely give us a like, subscribe. We're a newer channel. We'll take any feedback you can get. And hey, folks, I hope you tail. I hope you have a wonderful week. And just remember, it's a great time. We got football, college football, NFL. It's in full swing. Treasure these moments. And don't forget to make a little bit of money. All right, folks, from the doc here at IDP Plus, I am out of here.
Thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.